If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video, and I tend to do this every year. I've waited this year to start it. We are going to run through my favourite players of FIFA 20, and we're going to go all the way back from the beginning, and we're going to work our way forward. Now, of course, there are better versions of these cards available now, for the most part at least. And of course, they're not going to be as good now as they were when they first came out. But these are the cards that I actually remember using, that I used for a long time, and that really got me through. Most of them going to be sort of Road to Glory-esque style cards, you know, cards that I used an awful lot in the early days. And of course, as we progress through these episodes, we'll do one every other day or something, and we'll get to a point where we're into the sort of team of the seasons and summer heat cards and stuff. But Dembele is obviously the first one, 5-star, 5-star, with some really nice stats. I mean, if you compare him to today's cards, of course, he's absolutely nowhere near good enough. And that is the team back in the day that he was playing in. I think I packed him, which was actually a big card to pack at the very beginning of the game. And I'm really looking forward to the start of the new game, because I love this this stage where you've just got loads of gold cards. You maybe got some non-rare golds as well. You don't really know the meta of the game, because nobody does yet, because no one's played it enough. And you're just sort of trying to score, trying to play, and everyone is as bad as everybody else. And somehow Dembele ran through everybody and still managed to score that. What a goal that is, by the way. You couldn't really do that now. The defending is too easy these days to be able to defend against that, I guess. You know, just stand off, and whatever skill move I do probably wouldn't have been that effective. But back when I actually tried that at the early stages of the game, it was very effective. That card in general, though, he got me through an awful lot of tough times where we were struggling to win, and all of a sudden Dembele would come out of nowhere. The 5-star weak foot is so good, and of course the 5-star skills in there really, really handy. Very, very quick player. Back when I did the review of this guy, you could see that the negatives were the stamina and the strength, and of course they would still be negatives today. I gave him an 87 overall. Bear in mind, this wasn't when we had categories, so halfway through the season, or halfway through FIFA, I changed and I sort of introduced categories. But in general, as you can see, I did really enjoy it. Let's move on to our first special card of the video, and that is going to be the flashback Theo Walcott. I didn't use him like overly. I did, I brought him off the bench a lot. I didn't start him that often. I did start him when I first got him, and he probably played a good sort of 50 games, and then I started sort of bringing him off the bench. His pace, though, is what I really liked about it. The unfortunate thing, of course, stamina and strength, it's very much the same as Dembele, but with this card, in comparison of Dembele, of course, he doesn't have the weak foot, he doesn't have the skill moves, but he was still very nice to use. I know a lot of people won't really relate to this one as much. I didn't actually see a lot of people complete this, but Theo Walcott is one of those cards that I always have to do if there's an SBC of him, or if they bring out a special version, because back in what was it, FIFA 13 or something, players like Theo Walcott were fantastic to use because they were so quick, and that's all you really needed in the old FIFAs was pace. So in this FIFA, especially, I think now he would work quite well as well if his stamina was better. I'm actually surprised they haven't released some sort of summer heat or something of Theo Walcott, because they've done it for most other cards, like just a revamp refresh. I don't think they will do now. I think it's too late now, but it would be nice. Or rather, it would have been nice. And I'm sure we'll get a card in FIFA 21, because they tend to sort of go through all the aging players. He is getting on a bit now. He's been around for as long as I have. So that's how long, that's how old he is. But either way, the pace in this card, I think, was what I really liked about it. I mean, he did have okay dribbling. His finishing, as you can see, wasn't fantastic. He did miss the odd sitter here or there, but in general, he got into the right place at the right time, and that's because of his pace, and that's what I really liked about him. So when we go into the overall, you're going to have to bear in mind that this was very early on, and he wasn't that expensive, I don't think, considering considering things, yeah, 130,000 coins at the very beginning of the game. This was one of the best cards you could get in terms of special items. Obviously, you could go by Ronaldo and Messi, but they were in the millions at that point. Now, if they released this and they tried to charge 130k, you'd laugh. But all in all, the sort of shooting was not great. The weak foot, not great. The stamina, not great, of course. But we're going to move on to our final player, Dries Mertens. I absolutely adore this guy. In real life, I think he's a bit banging as well. He's got a lot more to offer. I'm not even sure if he's going to remain at Napoli. I don't even know if they want him, and whether he'll get enough game time for them. But I do really like Mertens, and I think that in FIFA in particular, even now, okay, his stamina's absolutely shocking, but even now you could bring him off the bench and he'd still score a few goals for you, I think. But anyway, with that being said, he does have a flashback card now, 95. I do have that, and I think that that's a much better card, and if you have it, use it, because it's just incredible. It's definitely one of those sort of more overpowered meta cards. But this guy played in... It was an okay team for the time. He's not on Chemney at all. I don't even know what I'm doing. I couldn't even speculate. Couldn't even tell you. I think I probably got rid of the team that I was using. Either way, in game, his pace electric. His finishing was very good, despite the odd miss here or there. The fact that he's just missed 2 on the bounce, that's my bad. No, his finishing is actually pretty good. He's very quick. His agility is what I really liked about him, and this is when we started coming into the. Oh yeah, as I was playing in the max chemistry mode, that was it. So I had the card. I think I probably packed him, and I didn't at the time before I put him into a team, because I actually used him a lot in FIFA 19 as well. But I didn't want to just use the same cards over and over and over again. So this year I decided that I would just play with him a little bit, maybe off the bench. So I went into max chemistry, so I wouldn't have to worry about the chem. That's what I was doing. That little drag back there, he's going to do it again. He's in on goal, and again he can't quite put it away, can he? Don't know why that is. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I hadn't discovered the near post yet, but I can tell you his finishing is actually pretty good, regardless of the fact that these clips are showing you him missing every single shot that he takes. He is actually quite good in front of goal. But before we discovered how good dragbacks were and the meta of the high agility and everything, this card was just brilliant. It was on the cusp of being one of the better cards. And for 125k back when I did this review, that was great value. I definitely saw value in that, and I could understand why people would be willing to pay it. These days, of course, he's much cheaper. I don't know about much cheaper, actually, thinking about it, because an 87 rated card is still going to be a little bit. I'm just going to go over to Footbin here and have a little look to see how much Mertens is currently worth. So at the moment, he's around 40,000 coins. That is because he's an 87 rated card. If you have the 95, use it because it's insane. If you have any other version, I'd still use him because he's just a really good player. I really like him, and hopefully he retains his pace in FIFA 21. That's just 3 of the cards that I enjoyed at the very beginning of the game. Well, like I said, we will progress through them. We've got about a month to go, so I'll do an episode every other day or so, and we'll get toward that sort of team of the season summer heat style in maybe a couple of weeks. But if you have enjoyed that first episode, then do me a favor and hit the like button. Let me know who you most enjoyed through FIFA 20 in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.